That's all. Sorry, I'm going to take a picture.
No, we're just setting up the camera. But you know what? Let me. So, I'm going with you because I'll help.
Congratulations, Letty, good luck. It is all about education.
Chairing. You can't do the ASES thing.
Award ceremony for 2014. This evening's American Solar Energy Society Awards will be presented by Carly Ritsom, the Executive Director of the American Solar Energy Society. The Women in Solar Energy Award honors the woman who has contributed significantly to the acceptance and advancement of women in solar through advocacy, politics, education, social change, business, or technical achievement. The 2014 Women in Solar Energy Award is presented to Barbara Harwood-Atkin for her advocacy and work to encourage the inclusion of energy efficiency, passive design, and safe materials to the design and construction of housing, including low-cost housing for the poor. Unfortunately, Barbara could not be with us tonight. Accepting the award on her behalf is Julie Blunden. Coming to understand building energy efficiency and renewable energy by way of a career in journalism, Barbara recognized the great impact that building energy efficiency could have on the homes of the poor. Through local speeches, community interaction, and advocacy with manufacturers, Barbara helped change the perception of what could and what should be done to improve the design and construction of low-cost housing. She convinced industry that improving the installation of building envelope would improve indoor livability and at the same time also reduce energy bills for those with little money to spend. Her advocacy in the area of building material selection significantly raised expectations for indoor air quality. Through 2 design and construction companies, she focused on high-quality livability in homes that emphasizes passive solar design and the use of solar thermal and photovoltaic panels. Her homes received awards from both the Department of Energy and the Department of Urban Development. An international speaker and lecturer at universities, she continues to inspire and demonstrate the impact of women in the field. Barbara's foresight, advocacy, and demonstration of the importance of energy efficiency and renewable energy in the design and construction of residences are in keeping with the highest mission and ideals of the American Solar Energy Society. Signed, Carly Ritsom, Executive Director, American Solar Energy Society.
I'm very honored to be able to accept this award on Barbara's behalf, who's a great inspiration to me and many leaders in the solar industry. She asked me to read just a few sentences on her behalf, and I now try to channel Barbara Harwood, which is a little hard to do, you know. Thank you so much for this great honor. I've been privileged beyond most women. When you work in solar, you work in magic, harnessing the great gift of our magnificent universe to give others power for their lives and light for their spirits. Hot water that once could be only accessed in thermal springs comes off the roof. And whole buildings are heated without polluting fossil fuels when they are simply designed to welcome the sun. It's been great fun to be a magician for 30 years and a great privilege to have worked with so many of you through the years on my annual Spirit of Sustainability and other forums at ASES. Keep that spirit alive, whatever you do. Organizations change, people move on, but that passionate spirit of sustainability must undergird all that we do forever. Thank you.
Barbara is a currently a consultant in sustainable architecture and healthy building design. She is also a writer, editor, and educator. The Rebecca Voorhees Award honors the memory of one of the Society's most tireless and valuable volunteers. The award is presented to those whose volunteer efforts on behalf of the American Solar Energy Society have significantly advanced the Society's ability to meet its mission. The 2014 Rebecca Voorhees Award is presented to Mr. Mario Monasterio for his long-standing involvement and support of the Society's annual solar conference. Mario has, stay up there. Mario has volunteered at most of the past 20 ASES conferences. He helps organize and manage other volunteers, trains them, and leads the stuffing of the conference bags, and does whatever else needs to be done. He's reliable and dependable, very conscientious, works hard, shows up early for behind-the-scenes setting up, and stays late, and oversees anything else that needs to be done. When personnel issues come up, he handles them professionally and efficiently. Mario's hard work, perseverance, and sustained contribution to the American Solar Energy Society have been positive and constructive and are greatly deserving of this award and recognition. Signed, Carly Rixham, the Executive Director, American Solar Energy Society.
Thank you.
Mario currently works as the Director of Photovoltaic Design at Westwood Professional Services in Minnesota. The John and Barbara Yellett Award, named for those who helped found the American Solar Energy Society, is given to a deserving graduate student concentrating on solar energy at a recognized institution of higher learning. The 2014 John and Barbara Yellett Award is presented to Ms. Rachna Bedi for her work on supercritical Rankine cycles for low-temperature power generation. Much of the world's heat energy is only available from low-temperature sources. Developing systems to efficiently and cost-effectively extract this energy without damaging the environment will greatly reduce the world's need for fossil fuels and can reduce the waste heat delivered to the environment from existing high-temperature processes. Ms. Bedi's research focuses on finding and improving methods and materials to use this energy. Though these cycles are often associated with geothermal power, they may also be used for solar power applications. She has published papers in peer-reviewed journals and presented her research findings at several conferences. She has lectured and assisted in teaching the graduate course Solar Energy and the undergraduate course Energy, Environment, and Sustainability, and was voted the Outstanding Teaching Assistant of the Year for 2014 in the Chemical Engineering Department at the University of South Florida. Ms. Bedi is a dedicated and self-motivated solar enthusiast. She is an active member of ASES and ISIS and is the founder of the first student chapter of ISIS at the University of South Florida. She has proved herself an exemplary leader in these positions. Rachna's hard work, attention to detail, and pursuit of knowledge are deserving of award and bring credit to herself, the American Solar Energy Society, and all those who seek to improve the world through knowledge. Signed, Carly Rixham, Executive Director, American Solar Energy Society. Now for those of you who are not aware, I need to add a little bit more. Rachna is a doctoral candidate and graduate research assistant at the Clean Energy Research Center at the University of South Florida. She successfully defended her doctoral dissertation yesterday. And then jumped on a plane to be with us today. The Passive Pioneer Award honors those in the passive solar energy field who provided the theories, early research efforts, new concepts and opportunities for later researchers to follow and to improve upon. The award is presented to a deserving innovator who was involved in the early stages of passive theory, design, application, or technology. The 2014 Passive Pioneer Award is presented to Mr. Donald Watson for his early recognition and application of passive solar design concepts. In the early 1970s, an advocate and innovator in solar design, he put theory into practice by building his first passive design house in 1973. Learning, innovating, and experimenting, Donald continued to move the theory and technology of passive design forward. As a professor at the Yale School of Architecture and then Dean of the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute School of Architecture, as an author and as a visiting lecturer, he educated, advocated, and forced architecture students to consider their energy choices and trade-offs. His 40-year career as a teacher and practicing architect was devoted to research, practice, and publication of best practices in solar and environmental design. He has actively participated in ASES activities since the early 1970s as conference keynote speaker and as a contributor to publications and conferences. Donald's hard work, dedication, and pursuit of a world focusing on passive solar design and energy conservation are in keeping with the highest mission and ideals of the American Solar Energy Society. Signed, Carly Rixum, Executive Director, American Solar Energy Society. Although now retired from teaching and academic administration, Donald remains an active author, consultant, and advocate for passive sustainability in the design of buildings and cities with a focus on sustainability and reliance on resilience to climate change. He joins the ranks of over 30 other passive pioneers, including such notables as David Wright, John Reynolds, Bruce Anderson, and Wendell Thomas. The ASES Fellows designation recognizes longtime ASES members who have provided exceptional service to the Society. This year, the Board of Directors has designated 5 persons to be inducted as Fellows of the American Solar Energy Society. The new Fellows are Scott Elliott, Christian Gaymard, Gina Johnson, David Panish, and Claudia Wentworth. Carly Rixum will present each of the new Fellows with a certificate as a memento of this occasion. For those of you unfamiliar with these selectees, Scott Elliott, Scott has been a key player in the Central Ohio solar community for 2 decades. He is a longtime active member of Green Energy Ohio and an ASES chapter, including 10 years of involvement with GEO's solar tours, consulted to the Solar Decathlon team at Ohio State University. He co-founded the Ohio State University Student Chapter of ASES, and GEO Volunteer of the Year Award for 2007. Oh, I missed something. He also won the GEO's Pioneer of the Year Award in 2004. He has also served as the chairman of the ASES Sustainable Transportation Division. Thank you. Accepting for Christian Gaymard is Frank Vignola. Christian Gaymard developed the simple model of the atmospheric radiative transfer of sunshine, commonly called the SMARTS program, for assessing solar radiation. It's one of the solar community's best known prediction tools around the world and is the de facto standard in the PV and concentrating PV worlds. Also, his modeling of spectral irradiance has aided the commercial introduction of new solar materials with response characteristics differing from those of silicon. Thank you. Accepting for Gina Johnson is Seth Masai? Meja, I'm sorry. Gina Johnson served as the editor and frequent contributor to the multiple award-winning magazine Solar Today. Under Gina's leadership, Solar Today magazine became a vigorous voice for outreach by and for the renewable energy community. She made an indelible mark in that community and was an important driver of its outreach campaigns. Gina has supported the ASES mission with her passion and drive.
Just a few words about Gina, but also Seth, who in 2 years is going to be eligible for this award, and I'm going to hopefully be able to nominate him. But I nominated Gina because of my experience with her. And I went back to an old magazine. Anyone have any old Solar Todays hanging around? Go check one of those out that she was editor for, and look at the people and the content and the quality. And I went back when one I contributed an article to, and I reviewed it, and I thought back, how did this get to be such an excellent article? Because I submitted something that was garbage. And she made me think that I made it better. But really what was happening, she made me a better person by doing that work with her. So I really appreciate her, and I just want to mention that. So thank you very much.
David Panish has held leadership roles with ASES and or its chapters since the early 1980s, including serving on the local organizing committee of the 9th National Passive Solar Conference, which was 1984, chair and vice chair of the ASES Sustainability Technical Division from 2007 until 2013, including chair of the ASES Solar Buildings Division from 2011 to 2014, and technical review committees of several ASES national conferences. And he currently serves as the ASES chairman of the board of directors.
Thank you.
Claudia Wentworth. Claudia is a model solar business leader and philanthropist who walks her talk on sustainability at her company, Quick Mount PV, where she encourages waste reduction, composting, organic gardening, and alternative transportation. She is an avid supporter of ASES and its mission, served beyond the call of duty as a board member and president of the ASES chapter, NorCal Solar, and has served on the ASES board and ASES Awards Committee. Thank you, Claudia. We now move to the final award of the evening. The highest honor of the American Solar Energy Society is the Charles Greeley Abbott Award. This award will be presented by David Panish, the chairman of the board of directors. The Charles Greeley Abbott Award, named in honor of the prominent researcher in solar energy, is presented to a person who has made a significant contribution to the American Solar Energy Society or to the field of solar energy. The 2014 Charles Greeley Abbott Award is presented to Mr. Scott Sklar for his long-standing leadership in the promotion of solar energy, renewable energy, and sustainability to the nation. Unfortunately, Scott could not be with us here tonight. Accepting the award on his behalf is Frank DeWinter. Scott has been a leader in renewable energy for over 40 years, starting as an aide to Senator Jacob Javits, where he co-founded the Solar Caucus, a group that facilitated passage of early renewable energy laws in the 70s and the 80s. He later served as the political director of the Solar Lobby, and then as the executive director of the Solar Energy Industries Association, followed by the National Biomass Industries Association. In 1995, Scott founded the Stella Group, a firm dedicated to facilitating clean and distributed energy projects for commercial, industrial, and military applications. The firm specialized in the blending technologies and by financing projects as well as assisting companies develop market penetration. In addition to running his company, Scott has co-authored 2 books on renewable energy, served as an adjunct professor at George Washington University, and served as a guest lecturer at the National Defense University and at the Industrial War College. He speaks nationally and internationally and influences organizations through motivating speeches, political pressure, and by serving on their boards of directors. Despite his busy schedule, Scott still makes time for individual interactions, opening his house to the National Solar Tour and providing one-on-one career counseling for those wishing to enter the renewable energy field. Scott's sustained contribution to solar power, renewable energy, and sustainability is worthy of award and brings great credit to himself, the nation, and is keeping with the highest ideals and mission of the American Solar Energy Society. Signed, David Panish, Chairman, Board of Directors of the American Solar Energy Society. Frank DeWinter has been asked to read a short message from Scott.
I've known Scott for 35. I've known Scott for 35 years. I volunteered to read his acceptance speech. I first met ASES members in the 1970s when I worked on Capitol Hill. And I met Frank DeWinter of ASES when I worked at the National Center for Appropriate Technology in 1980. I worked more closely with him in ASES when I became political director of the Solar Lobby in Washington, D.C. And I met Frank DeWinter and our sister organization, the Center for Renewable Resources. When I ran the Solar Energy Industries Association, SEIA, for 15 years, I actually flew the ASES director to Washington, D.C., beginning with Larry Sherwood every year, as well as working closely with Joel Stronberg, who represented you in Washington, D.C., and hosted Chris Stimson in my offices when we ran the ASES Activist Network. So I have long admiration and history with ASES and feel honored by the award. And I wanted to remind each and every one of you here that when the ASES old-timers and folks like myself talk about the solar and clean energy future in the 1970s and the 1980s, we were mocked and ridiculed. I still have letters from very famous and named talented people to my boss, Senator Javits. And beyond, the PV could never be manufactured in the 50 megawatt plants, and wind farms could never be above 10 megawatts. And cost reductions could never occur. But of course, I'm lucky to have lived long enough to see that they were wrong. The pro-fossil fuel and nuclear groups are spending $400 million from year to year to elect politicians that deny climate change, that want to deter and do away with incentives for renewable energy. When history is on our side, we cannot be distracted with our successes, but we must have even more fortitude, be willing to stand up to the onslaught. The largest margin of the American people want solar energy future and clean energy, and want ways that they can access the broad portfolio of these clean energy technologies, the public desires go across political, geographic, and socio-economic and racial lines. So I want to thank ASES for the Charles Greeley Abbott Awards. Well, I have been in this clean energy field for 40 years. I hope to dedicate at least another 20 years to my university teaching speechifying world over, facilitating clean energy projects all over the globe. It has been a deep honor to be able to realize my dream, and I thank you for the recognition.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Okay. I got this thing also.
This completes the American Solar Energy Society 2014 Awards Ceremony. Thank you very much for your attention. And now with announcements, the Executive Director of the American Solar Energy Society, Carly Ritzel.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Thanks so much, Dave. That was wonderful. And congratulations to all the award winners. I really admire you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work. You guys are so smart. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Solar Warriors, it's great to have you here. We're all fighting a good fight here. And isn't this just so wonderful that we can be here? There's just so much abundance. We've got such great food and wine thanks to NorCal Solar, by the way. Thank you so much, guys. And we're all just a big happy family here, right? It's just so wonderful, and I've met so many great people in my first month as executive director, and it's really cool just listening to everybody's stories. Everybody has a different story to tell, a really unique story to tell, and I've just learned so much already about you guys, and I just keep them coming, keep the stories coming, because it really is about the people, right? So we are just so blessed to be here, and really the energy here, I mean, it's all about renewable energy. So if you just think about, like, what does renewable energy mean to you? Really, what does renewable energy mean to you? Because it's in our hearts, and it's really a special thing that we can be here tonight and celebrate that. You know, the chances that we're 8 minutes away from the sun and have this abundance around us is a miracle, really. And thank you so much, and especially thank you to Seth Maja, who's really paved the way for me and has kind of shown me the ropes. In the last couple of months, I really appreciate your knowledge and wisdom and everything that you've passed on. And we don't want to lose you, Seth. We're not going to let you retire. Talk about fighting the good fight. You know, we're going to fight to keep you. Also, Dave Canis, you've been really wonderful in being my leader and my boss and kind of giving me guidance as the chair of the executive board. I couldn't ask for a better boss. Thank you, Allison Neeson, for all of your advice and help along the way. So many people to thank. Jeffrey Brownson for the Emerging Professionals Program and our affiliation with Penn State University. The list just goes on and on. Brian, Allen, you are awesome. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, and it has been a lot of hard work and dedication, and couldn't do it without you, as you know, as we all know. Paulette, you're the best. Yes. Paulette knows how to throw a good party. To say the least. So yeah, ASES is involved in a lot of projects right now. As I mentioned, the Emerging Professionals Program is a big thrust for us to start getting more young people involved in solar energy in our society. Additionally, we have our solar tour coming up in October 4th and 5th. Mark your calendars. National Solar Tour, biggest grassroots solar event in the nation. So if you've got solar on your home, please showcase it and get your neighbors involved too. Of course, we've got our publications, Solar Today, Solar Citizen, Solar at Work. So we're putting the word out there. We've got a lot of projects in the forefront, bringing on some affiliations and hoping to have some more options for our members as far as financing and insurance on installing renewable upgrades on their homes. Really want to put a plug in for the student chapters, and thank you so much, Rashna,
Yes.
For starting the first student ASES chapter. That's so fantastic, and we need more students involved as well. Let's see, there's too much to list, but we've got a lot of great projects going on. We're also running a membership sale right now. If you guys aren't members, or you need, well, most of us are members, but for your
Life members.
Life members.
Life.
Yes. Wow. I mean, really, just look around. Everyone just look around. Like, we're life members of ASES. How special is that? It is really a special thing, and
100% life members.
yeah. How about that? Life memberships are one-time special deal, $900 through Thursday. So.
And for your student friends.
Yeah, tell your friends too. We're actually running a 20% off discount on all of our memberships. So $30 for your basic, $60 for your professional, $300 for the business, and $900 for your life membership. So take advantage of it while it's hot, and of course tax deductible. We're also seeking major donations and minor donations, I should say. For all of our many projects that we have in the works. So if you feel this sense of abundance that we are sharing here tonight, please help us by paying it forward and keeping up the good work that we're doing here at the American Solar Energy Society. That's about all I have to say. Thank you again so much for everybody's hard work and energy, and for showing up tonight and being part of this family. We couldn't do it without you, and thank you for all of your support. Let the good times roll.